Are you or someone you know stuck in an echo chamber where you're unable to think outside the box, outside this belief system? And it's almost like you're cornered in this box that seems very strange and obscure, and you know a lot of information that other people don't. There's a lot of conspiracies even within there. That's what we're talking about in today's video. So hello everyone, my name is Autumn Asphodel. And in today's topic, we're going to be discussing echo chambers, how you can identify if you're in one, and how to break free from it, whether it be you or maybe someone close to you would need this information to help you break out. So enjoy the video. An echo chamber is a term used to describe set beliefs that are amplified and reinforced in a group. In other words, it's a cult where ideas are said over and over again, and outside thinking is not entertained and shunned. You may be part of an echo chamber cult and not even be aware of it, since to you, it's normal thinking beliefs, and you associate with only those with your same ideas. In fact, echo chambers are all around us, such as the news media, social media, online discussion boards and forums, religious groups, political groups, social justice and advocacy groups, and so on. Knowing when you're stuck in one is much harder to grasp, as most people will deny they are even in one. Yet, we've all encountered these groups and may be heavily involved with them. Here are some signs that you're in an echo chamber cult. One is that they focus on one or a small set of topics and often do not deviate from it. The group will often attack opposing arguments, and anyone who brings up an alternative viewpoint is often shunned by the group and excluded from further events. The group will only have one narrative and not be able to see the world around them, as if they have sunglasses on when it's sunny and say it's nighttime. They often cannot think outside the box and will stick to the narrative their group is all about. They claim to know all and have the answers, yet when questioned, their basic response is to trust and have faith. These are all signs that the group is an echo chamber, especially if it only attracts, or rather only allowed to attract, people who think exactly the same and contribute nothing new to the group, but just reiterating the same garbled nonsense again and again. To put it simply, an echo chamber is a cult. It's a cult where the people in this belief system have all the same ideas and beliefs, and they really don't contribute anything new to it. As a matter of fact, they kind of block out the outside world and just keep going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole, so to speak. There's often tons of conspiracy theories that are put into here that a normal person would listen to who's not a part of the cult and be like, that just doesn't make any sort of sense. So there is a major problem here, because a lot of people get sucked into the cult because they feel like as though they belong to something. It feels comforting. But then the control aspect comes in, where they're not able to think for themselves. They have to think of this cult mindset, and that is a huge problem. If this sounds like something you're a part of, then how can you break free from the brainwashing the cult has put you under? The first step is one you may have already taken, and why you are here, which is recognition that you're in a cult. Most people don't realize they're in a cult, but maybe you're finally started to question the reasoning of the echo chamber. If you have family or friends who are stuck in the cult, then they will need to come to the realization at their own pace. The best you can do is not get mad at them for not seeing things outside of their scope, but rather give them riddles to make them question the reasoning of the cult. Once they start questioning, their mind will do the rest, and they'll begin to understand that something is wrong. Next is to recognize your biases. We all have a bias, which is perhaps why you joined the cult to begin with. But maybe you don't consider it to be a bias, but rather just the right way of thinking. The truth of the matter is that there is no right way to do anything. Everything in this world is subjective and depends on personal interpretation. What is right for you is wrong to someone else and indifferent to someone else, while another has no idea what you're even talking about. Once you recognize your biases, then you don't have to think you're right and everyone else is wrong. Rather, you let it be and let people make up their own minds. And lastly, expand your reach and think for yourself. The cult doesn't think outside the box, but you can. Expand your interests. join other groups, talk with other people, watch other news sources, join other social media platforms, and so on. This will allow you to understand where people are coming from and why they think the way that they do, and understand their biases along with understanding yourself even better. The echo chamber cult wants to think for you, and you must obey and accept everything they say as fact. Rather, break free from the cult and think for yourself and question everything you hear, see, and believe, since you may just realize the world is the total opposite of what you initially thought. Breaking free from an echo chamber is not an easy task, especially if you've been indoctrinated into thinking a certain way for a long time. But breaking free will allow you to think for yourself and be independent. You won't be allowing others to think for you, since you'll be thinking for yourself. Let me know how this works for you. Have a great day. So if you are in an echo chamber cult, whether it be a group of people or even just kind of by yourself, even just kind of looking at information online and you're kind of part of this same type of mindset, you have to realize what thoughts are yours and what aren't. Are the thoughts going through your mind that have put you into this cult, are they truly your own? Are they your own unique thoughts? Or are they someone else's that have been implanted within you? If you think outside the box, do you fear criticism from other people that you thought were friends or part of, who are part of this cult? Would you fear judgment from them? These are all signs that you need to break free. And how you break free is by being independent, by being able to think for yourself, by questioning everything you can possibly imagine. Everything should be questioned. It doesn't matter if you hear it on a reliable source. A reliable source being what you determine to be a reliable source, whether that be some sort of news source or anything along those lines. All those things should be questioned because none of those things are reliable. The only thing that is reliable is you making your own decisions and belief system based on having all the information. And all the information doesn't mean, again, all of what is popular, what is the mainstream. That's not all of the information. All the information is much more than we can possibly comprehend because a lot of stuff we don't see, we're not aware of. So you have to be able to think outside the box and start to question even the belief system that you have, the very foundation on which you live, the way that your life is run, and how the world works. You have to question everything, because once you're able to do that, then you'll truly be able to understand yourself deeper, and you'll be able to open your mind and think from a much deeper perspective. So I'm really curious to hear what your thoughts are on this topic. Let me know how this information was helpful to you, how you're able to break free from the echo chamber cult. I'm really curious to hear it. So take care, have a great one, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.